Once upon a time, in a peaceful meadow, there lived a small fairy named Daisy. Daisy loved to flutter around the meadow, visiting flowers and playing with other fairies. She would dance with the bees and sing with the birds, spreading joy and happiness wherever she went. Daisy's favorite activity was to race with her friends. She loved to see who could fly the fastest, and she was always up for a challenge. One day, while racing with her friends, Daisy noticed that a young caterpillar was having a hard time moving around. The caterpillar had a leaf stuck to its back, and it was slowing it down. Daisy landed next to the caterpillar and asked, "Excuse me, little one, but it seems like you have a leaf stuck to your back. Do you need help removing it?" The caterpillar nodded and said, "Yes, please. I've been trying to get it off for hours, but it's stuck." Daisy gently removed the leaf from the caterpillar's back, and the caterpillar was overjoyed. It thanked Daisy and asked if there was anything it could do to repay her kindness. Daisy smiled and said, "Your friendship is all I need, but if you ever need help, don't hesitate to ask me." From that day on, the caterpillar and Daisy became good friends. They would often play together and go on adventures in the meadow. Daisy would teach the caterpillar how to fly, and the caterpillar would share stories about its life on the ground. One day, while they were exploring the meadow, they came across a family of ants who were carrying a large piece of food. The food was too heavy for the ants, and they were struggling to move it. Daisy and the caterpillar offered to help. Together, they carried the piece of food to the ants' nest, and the ants were overjoyed and thanked them for their help. Another day, Daisy and the caterpillar encountered a family of ladybugs who were lost. They didn't know how to get back to their home. Daisy and the caterpillar offered to help, and they flew with the ladybugs until they found their way back home. As Daisy continued to spread love and happiness through the meadow, her reputation grew. More and more animals would come to her for help, and she was always happy to oblige. As the seasons changed, Daisy noticed that some animals were starting to get sick and needed help. One day, Daisy and the caterpillar came across a group of bees who were coughing and sneezing. The bees told Daisy that they had caught a cold, and they didn't know how to get better. Daisy knew exactly what to do. She flew off to gather some flowers and herbs which she knew had healing properties. She made a special brew and gave it to the bees. Within a few hours, the bees started to feel better, and they thanked Daisy for her help. From that day on, Daisy became known as the healer of the meadow. She would gather herbs, flowers, and berries and create remedies to help any creature who was feeling unwell. Daisy had a natural talent for healing, and she soon became known throughout the meadow as the one to turn to if you needed help. One day, a small bird came to see Daisy. The bird had a sore wing, and it was unable to fly. Daisy knew that this was a serious injury, and she had to act fast. She gently massaged the bird's wing and applied some of her special healing balm. She then wrapped the bird's wing in a soft bandage. As Daisy and her friends arrived at the clearing where the magical plant was supposed to grow, they noticed something was amiss. The plants were wilting, and the ground was dry and cracked. Daisy knew that something was wrong, and she set to work trying to figure out what was happening. She inspected the plants closely and realized that they were suffering from a lack of water. She looked around the clearing and saw that there was a small stream nearby. She knew that if she could divert some of the water from the stream to the plants, they would start to recover. Daisy called on Benny the Fox to help her. Together, they gathered stones and built a small dam in the stream. They carefully channeled some of the water towards the plants, and within a few hours, the plants started to perk up and regain their strength. The fox was amazed at Daisy's knowledge and her ability to heal not only animals but also plants. He knew that Daisy was a special fairy, and he was proud to be her friend. Daisy and her friends gathered some of the magical plant and returned to the forest. She added it to her healing remedies, and soon word spread through the forest about Daisy's amazing healing powers. Animals from far and wide came to seek her help, and she was always happy to oblige. Her kindness and compassion had made her the most beloved creature in the forest, and she continued to spread happiness and joy wherever she went. One day, as Daisy was flying through the forest, she came across a group of young fairies who were lost. They had wandered too far from their home and couldn't find their way back. Daisy knew that she had to help them. She gathered the young fairies and flew with them through the forest. She used her knowledge of the land and the stars to guide them back to their home safely. The young fairies were grateful for Daisy's help, and they promised to spread the word of her kindness and her amazing powers of healing. As time passed, Daisy's legend grew, and she became known as the protector of the forest. She continued to spread love, happiness, and healing throughout the land, and all the creatures of the forest looked up to her. And with that, our story comes to a close. The moon shines bright, casting a soft glow over the world outside. As you drift off to sleep, remember the lessons that our characters learned. Be kind to others, be brave in the face of fear, and always believe in yourself. Tomorrow is a new day, full of new adventures and possibilities. Rest well, my dear listener, and may your dreams be filled with wonder and delight. Good night.